So let's work on some product design. And like I say, for this example, I'm going to start from a vehicle, moon rover, off-road moon rover in this example, just because I feel that I don't know much about a vehicle, but then when you pick this type of designs, it will generating some like intriguing details and that just like exciting and I feel will like works very well within my series. But that works pretty much the same, like no matter what you're doing. And when you work on like product design, something that is important because you want to keep your image like pretty clean is like obviously using neutral background, kind of like being very specific on like, the shot is like, straight from the side here, like where the light is coming from, like all these different details, no matter if you're working on a car, on a jet ski, on a sneakers, on, like a luxury bag, it will pretty works the same. And that's something that I like. I like to work first on like the product and the items before getting into like, okay, how do I, create now some content for like an ad campaign, for example, either putting the product on a model or doing some lifestyle still images as well. And when I'm working on a vehicle specifically, I like to use a 4:3 ratio, just because that makes sense with like the design. If you do 1:1, either it will kind of like crop the image, or you might ending up with like a more like square design. And so I have like all these things here. Because I show you before and I kind of like have an idea of like where I want to go, I just gonna run like 5 jobs right away, just to save me some time. So -- R 5, 10, 15, whatever you're trying to achieve. This is like something that you're going to put here. And then like right away, of course, I explored a lot around this prompt and this design before, but it's like right away creating like very interesting designs. I think it's kind of like, for this one, to just like making it even more interesting, I want to like add some stuff in the background. So I'm going to putting this here and instead of like making like the full natural background, I can like add, like some specificities around like what's going on in the image. So I'm just gonna copy and paste because you don't want to watch me typing like each letter. But then I added concrete floor and a large texture rock formation to add an organic element to the structure environment. That's like kind of like a cool tips and tricks. If you didn't do like the 5 job, you can just like press like rerun multiple times. That's another way to doing it here. And that's very valuable with a web app on Midjourney, because it's so hard to like going back to doing it on Discord if you're starting to doing it here. And so here we have like some like pretty cool design. So kind of like this one with like the huge Nike. So I can do like a subtle upscale. I like this one as well. Let's do like a variation, subtle and strong. Like this one too, pretty clean, subtle. So yeah, so like noise like creating, that can work with anything. You can have fun. You can like change the color palette. You can, change a brand, don't have a brand at all, and just like creating a bunch of different vehicle. Feel free to like share it with me when you have like cool stuff here. Like, as you can see here, this is like the subtle variation. This is a more crazy variation. I think we'll go for this one. I mean, I kind of like the two, but like, let's try with this one first. So it's like rendering. You don't necessarily have to wait until it's like a fully render to do it. But I don't know, I believe like maybe higher resolution will have like a better outcome. And then we're gonna work, or just like try on like different things, but just wanted to show you, we can work on like the glove, for example, here. So I'm gonna just like take this prompt that I did before. I will share all these prompts with you so you have access to it. And so we can download this image, or you can use it directly here, as you can see, for like a image style prompt. And so if we use it for like style, it's like automatically adding it here. And you have to be careful because if you're using the images, like basically the image will act as your prompt, so like image to image generation. This little clip style reference, I'm not sure if it's like the best way to present it, but like if you stay over, it's just like gonna tell you what it is. And then this is character reference. This is for the next chapter. Or maybe the one after. We're going to do style reference for art creation next, and then after that we'll work on avatar. But then basically now it's set up here, right? So I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to work on the tech glove with portable computer. I don't know if you guys remember the Nintendo glove. If you were born like in the 80s, 90s, you probably are familiar with what I'm talking about. But just again, like interesting objects, some token and information here, advanced technology, we're gonna have, here like the orange fluo accent, product packshot, neutral background. And like I explained in the previous video, we want to like set the weight to being at, maybe let's do a test actually. So you realize 20, 30, 50, and then 100. So the weight will just tell Midjourney how much it needs to follow the original image to generating the next one. And so if I hit enter, need to go back here, it's like generating the gloves right now. Let's give it a minute or two. And so as you can see here is pretty interesting because like the 20, you can see again, like there is like definitely an impact and like they work together. Of course, you can like twist your prompt if you want to have like more of like the black gloves, but you have like interesting stuff going on already. I mean, I would rock that for sure. But then the more the weight, like the more it will actually like follow. But then sometimes it can just like create like a weird stuff. But in this case, I think they were kind of like all like working pretty well. So it's like interesting. Yeah, kind of like this one. And then like I say, if we go for like, actually I think this is like pretty good. This one is good too. But like, let's say I want to like to use this one. And then like we have like the light gray moon surf pattern. Then we can add like the Nike logo. Full black with white Nike logo, just because I want to make this like a branded project. And then let's try it. Oh, one thing I didn't do is actually the ratio. So 4:5. Give like just like enough space for Midjourney to kind of like making it coherent. Like as you can see here, you can see like it struggled with like the square ratio. So if you're like ending up with result that doesn't work so well in square, you can try different ratio to see what's going on. Here we go. And so now we're starting to have like really cool stuff. So as you can see, I added, there is like weird stuff. We're going to talk about like how to fix like some of these misfits. But this one, for example, we have like the 5 fingers. We have kind of like the concrete background. I really like this image. So I'm going to upscale it. And then just to see what's going on, like we can create some like variation here. So it's like rendering my new image. And then you're also creating variation. So on the subtle variation, as you can tell, it's very minimal, right? Like the composition, the structure is pretty much the same. I think even after this variation, I still prefer the first one with like the old school Nike logo. And then here you have like different view. So it's pretty cool. Let's try something else. So now let's try to work on sneakers. So what I recommend to do is like you basically reuse the one that you're like successful with. And then we'll have a cosmonaut, moon, boots, Nike, Air Max, technology, extreme, comfort, material, buffer, material, just like adding stuff. Don't overthink it. And then if it's creating something like too weird, I'm doing this on the fly with you. You can always reverse back and see what's up. And then, yeah, because I don't have time, always like run multiple jobs just to have like multiple options right away. And just like being able to select the one that I feel are the most interesting and work well within the series. So here we go, just like that, you're starting to like generating a very interesting design. Virgil Abloh, rest in peace. Like you can see, like there is like a lot of like influence into it. You don't have to use Nike. It works like the same. Of course, when you use like an established brand, you know, there is like already the DNA of the brand and stuff like already there. But if you want to go like more, you know, like you're not trying to do like a project for Nike, but you're actually working on like something like totally new just for you, launching like a new sneakers brand, you remove Nike and then you try to be as specific as possible within the design of the shoe, right? Like the material they want to use for like the upper side of the shoe, you know, the color, the sole, the technology, like all these different things. But here we're like getting, you know, like pretty quickly very interesting details. It kind of like fits the original design. I like this one. For this exercise, I'm not going to show you enhancement upscaling. We're going to do a whole chapter around that. And I'm going to use actually all the image generating before so you can see the different settings depending if you're trying to enhance and upscale or edit like a person or product and all the cool stuff you can do. But just so I don't forget it, I think we're going to like upscale this one. Yeah. This is like a weird detail, but I kind of like the texture and everything. That's a lot of stuff when I'm working on real project is like sometimes you just like, okay, I like, you know, like a specific detail within the shoe. So I can like put all of these together, and then that will never replace the fact that like if you're trying to produce a pair of sneakers, you will have to work with a footwear designer at some point to like being able to like create the technical file. But this is like awesome to just like being able to like very quickly experimenting, getting where you want to be. And I will show you in a dedicated video how you can use a new tool called Crea.ai to being able like to start from like an image that you like and then quickly sketch over it to being able to change some details and variations. So be sure to stay with me all along and because like there is like really cool stuff to do. I'm gonna take this one as well. It's probably like not the most comfortable shoes. I think it's interesting. I like the details. I'm gonna be able to like fix some of this after. So I'm just gonna like upscale this, and then now we can continue and just like try different objects. And so here we can have, you know, like we did the moon boots. Ideally, if you change entirely the category, you want to like, you know, fix the prompt because you don't necessarily want to have like Nike Air Max, like when you're trying to like make a jetpack. But I think in this case, because I want to like create this like all like Nike project, which is the continuity of like my concept store that I started with, I want to like create this like product design element, then it is totally fine to keep it, because I think even if you're working on a backpack, like the Nike Air Max technology can work within the prompt. So let's say a cosmonaut jetpack with retracting wings and rockets. Then we can have oversized puffer jacket. Then we can have like an overboard, Back to the Future 2. If you know it, you know it. But the problem is with all the shitty overboard, like the things that people use, like basically like a Segway without the steering wheels. Like it's very hard to like getting like a flying overboard. But like thinking about it, let's add a flying overboard. And what else can we do? Like a jet ski. What else? Futuristic computer watch. And like a VR headset. Vision Pro, I'm not sure if it's still like a trending things. And if you purchase one, I hope you got a refund already. Okay, let's do it. So I pressed enter. I was like pretty fast on doing that. But because I believe you probably don't want to spend like too much time listening to me and you want to be able to do it on your own. But just like showing you again was like the reference. and the different like type of product is like how cool is getting pretty quickly. So it's like creating the scene. There is like, the character here, the jet ski, which is like interesting because like cosmonaut jet ski and he make like a pair of sneakers. What did I have in my prompt that kind of like result in that? Let me see, anti-gravity, advanced technology, pattern alpha, agent. Water jet ski? Do we call it like a water jet ski? Maybe the puffer material was a problem. Let's see if I can fix it. And here, as you can see, sometimes like stuff are like very random, right? So it's just like showing you like very quickly to kind of like being in this exploration phase and kind of like deciding like what you like and what you don't like and how you're going to be able to like refine it. But similar with the store is like all of these are like starting point, and depending of what you are trying to achieve, then you're going to need to kind of like select one of the image or like one of the prompt and being able to continue with it. And so here, I think the problem is because I have a cosmonaut. So it's like a flying overboard Nike Air Max technology. Add like product backshot at the beginning. Future of mobility. And then let's see if this is getting better. But as you can see here, there is like very interesting element. This is weird that is cut out. So like, let's try like a variation because I like the composition of this image. I just don't like the bottom part. Can being fixed easily in Photoshop. We're gonna have a full video about that. But just to show you quickly how the different things are going, the impact. Maybe the 50 is like too much for the watch. So that's another thing that you can try to kind of like lower the weight. And also remove, no, we actually don't have it. Okay. Here we go, we're starting to have like a jet ski here. I think we're gonna remove the puffer material because I think it's confusing. So yeah, here you have the bottom, but like again, if you really like this image, I'm going to show you in like Photoshop how you can fix it very easily. But that was kind of like it to kind of like showing you like the style references and how you can use it in like developing like different direction. Like I said, the most important is like really focusing on like the prompt for like your product first, and then adding the reference to like being sure that you're getting into like the right direction. And then sometimes if the weight of the image is like too much, you can also try to take it out and just like include like all the words and the color palette and the logo and references within your prompt to being able to generate the result you expect. That's it. Get started. I'm going to put a bunch of different ideas for you to help you, as well as some like starting images as a reference if you want to like explore with different style. Same thing as the concept store. Work on it, generating images, put them together. I'm very excited to see what you're going to be able to generate from that. Peace.